how long you use it for, and when you turn it off. Now, if you take this to security measures, if you have a security system in your home, someone will know when it's turned on, when it's turned off. They may also be able to monitor which sensors you choose to deactivate and when. Now, if that's not a security risk, I don't know what is.
Hear, hear.
The next thing we look at is the charging system. Everywhere these meters have been installed, there have been complaints of excessive charges for hydro use, for electrical power. That's not acceptable, and I urge you all, please do not be misled by the disingenuous claims of BC Hydro, and I urge you all to support any motion that you can, calling on this government to place a moratorium on their use, cancel this billion-dollar boondoggle, which can only be profit for BC Hydro. Thank you.
Hear, hear. Bravo! Bravo!
Thank you, Brian. And now, from the proud city of Victoria, the councillor who drove the moratorium for us through. He talked hard and fast and convincingly. And I'm so glad that he's here today. Mr. Philippe Lucas.
See if we can make sure that everyone can hear us today. I know we've had a few problems with that. I'm Philippe Lucas. I'm a Victoria City Councillor. I'm also a CRD Director, and I want to start out by thanking the Songhees Nation, on whose land we stand today, and all the First Nations who are joining us here today. We were taking better care of this land. I want to great thanks to the organizers for putting this on, and to all the volunteers holding signs up behind us and who have come out, and we really appreciate it. And to all of you for taking the time to come here today and let your concerns be known. It was just a few weeks ago that the issue of smart meters came to the attention of Victoria City Council, and it was many of the same faces here today that quietly convinced Council that BC Hydro's plan for the installation of smart meters was seriously flawed.
Hear, hear.
Following some research and some impassioned pleas from the public, I drafted a motion calling for a moratorium on the installation of smart meters until a cost-neutral opt-out option was made available to the residents of Victoria. Although Council didn't support the concept of cost neutrality, I am proud to say that the City of Victoria has now joined a growing list of municipalities in BC, Canada, and throughout North America who have said to their power providers, "This is my home. I get to decide what type of technology my family is exposed to."
Hear, hear.
Woo! And just to make the point, at my home, my meter is less than 8 feet from where my 3-year-old daughter's bed lies. In so much as I truly believe that there's a real potential health risk associated with electromagnetic radiation for some individuals and under some circumstances, for me, the issue was more a matter of process. I asked myself, if the City of Victoria was in charge of power generation, would we simply ignore the legitimate and growing concerns of our residents in regards to the installation of smart meters? And the answer was a clear, resounding no. We would not ignore your concerns. So if we wouldn't go about doing this technological change without a strategy of public education, of engagement, and eventual acceptance, why would we allow a Crown Corporation like BC Hydro to do so in our homes? So at the urging of our residents, Council fought back, and I fought back, posting a notice by my meter stating that to BC Hydro and Corix don't have the consent to change my meter. And contacting the relevant ministers, one of whom I saw here today, or one of the opposition critics of whom I saw here today, to share my opposition to this unfair, undemocratic, and potentially unsafe process and technology. And that's what I'm here today to ask you to do as well. Let's work together. Let's push back. Let's stop this process. Can you please say it with me? BC Hydro Corix, I don't consent. Say it with me.
I don't consent.
That's right. One more time.
I don't consent.
And that's Thank you. And that's what I'm going to share with the Union of British Columbia Municipalities in a few weeks in Vancouver. In supporting a motion by Colwood for a province-wide moratorium, because you all showed me when you came before council, when you sent letters, and when you phoned me to share your concerns, that by working together, we can make a better, healthier Victoria and a better, healthier BC. Thank you so much for coming out today.
Here, here.
Keep fighting this and keep working together. Thank you, Sharon.
We don't consent, right?
Right. We don't consent.
And tell that to Hydro, tell that to Christy Clark, tell it to Rich Coleman. These people have to hear it. And just in case you needed a little bit more reason to say you don't consent, do you know that Corex has taken people off the street, given them 2 weeks training, and told them to go and do what an electrician is supposed to do? Those are the people who are putting on your new meters.
Shame on them.
Yep. And this is why there are going to be problems. There are going to be problems with your appliances. I hear that there's someone in the audience who had problems with his freezer. We saw someone in Vancouver who had trouble with his refrigerator. This is going to be a growing problem. And Hydro says it's not my fault.
Shame on them.
And they're laying, yeah, the only thing that they can say it's going to achieve is it's going to cost jobs of 300 meter readers. That's the only way they're going to justify this. Now, we've had some support from some people in the NDP party based upon cost, but the first party that came out in full support against a smart meter ban was the Green Party. In July, Elizabeth May and Jane Sturck had a press conference, and they outlined the problems with this. And I think that we need to recognize the fact that they've stepped forward. Unfortunately, Elizabeth was heading off to Ottawa, and Jane Sturck was taking a vacation. But we are very lucky to have one of Jane's administrative assistants here, Rebecca Helps. Thank you, Rebecca, for coming.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Okay. Yes, I apologize for Jane.